mutt, kaleidoscope, Heinz 57, potpourri, racially ambiguous. This is a story about race, or the lack thereof. This is a story about how one trip to Thailand healed my heart and gave me an identity. I'm shook. In January of 2018, I posted a video of my Ancestry DNA results. I wasn't prepared for what I'd find.
I recently did a Skype interview with a social influencer who talked about how she identifies through her DNA testing. I remember being struck by how you were really kind of like psyching yourself up to open it. Like, what was going through your mind at that time?
You know, I was just really excited because it's something that, you know, I'd heard about for a while. I knew I had some Thai background because my dad was born in Thailand. So I wanted to get more information on that. And also there were some questions about my mom's side of the family. I don't think that I realized that it was going to be really emotional for me. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I really don't know how to feel, but I'm super excited to do this video for you guys. There's 23% European Jewish, that's my highest percent. Next highest percentage is Great Britain. Okay, East Asia is 13%, 11% Scandinavia, 6% Europe West, 9% Asia Central. What does that mean?
Look, you got Central Asian and East Asian, South Asian. You're like...
I'm everything. Finding out that I was just about 10% of everything imaginable, then learning that my largest percentage was Jewish, something that had never occurred to me, was quite honestly mind-blowing. Oh my God. This led me to find the identity of my biological grandfather. Although he had already passed, I felt as though I had found a tiny piece of my identity.
So growing up and before you did the DNA test, what did you mostly identify as?
Growing up, I had a lot of questions about my heritage because I identified mostly as European, Caucasian. The kids that I went to school with, you know, they didn't look at me as Asian because I have mostly European features.
Growing up, I went to a very rural high school where basketball champions were made and the rainbow had two shades. I wouldn't say I was an outcast. I fit in just fine. I blended in like any typical white girl. White girl, a phrase I'd been called more than once during my high school stint. You assimilated into your roles: basketball player, scholar, classroom rapper, stoners, rebels, white girl. That was my role. I'm not sure I identify with that term. I'm not sure I identify with Jewish or Asian either. I barely know anything about this part of my heritage. But what does it matter? You're a person of the human race. Ideally, that's how things would work. But a lifetime of experience would prove otherwise. That being an other feels lonely, and if it's this difficult for me, a Jewish, Asian, white girl, I can't imagine how my black brothers and sisters must feel. And that breaks my heart. Because the only thing anyone ever wants deep down is to belong. So you see, this wasn't ever just about taking a dumb DNA test. It was about finding an identity, building a connection and a kinship, a belonging.
Like you said, at the end of the day, these are all just percentages, right? It doesn't affect your identity. I mean, this is just your genetics. How do you think that identity and genetics, how do they play together for you?
As I was saying before, it allows you to relate to other people. You know, you have a kinship in that. So I I want to have, you know, that closeness with the Thai people. I'm actually going to Thailand next month for the first time ever, and getting to meet my Thai relatives that I've never met or spoken to. And so I'm really excited about that.
What are you doing? Hey,
Hey,
what are you doing?
I'm watching James Corden and Demi Moore eat gross stuff.
Who's that?
What? You don't know those people?
No. Where are you on Sunday?
Jacksonville.
I'm gonna miss you. You gonna miss Mama too?
I spent the days leading up to this trip in an anxious fog. 2 weeks away from familiarity, on the other side of the world. I had never left the country before. Was my family mad at me? I hadn't spoken to any of them, besides my dad, since the string of Ancestry videos that started all of this. I had found the answer to a huge question, but not without ruffling feathers within the family. I understand that I reopened old wounds, but I needed answers. One thing was for certain, we were about to be stuck together, so we had better figure it out. Must be pretty good. Just get here when you can, man. Just get here when you can.
Hey, we're only a minute late.
Trying to get your dad.
Only a minute late.
Guess who forgot their toothbrush and their foundation?
At home?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. I did. I feel like I'm levitating.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have landed in San International Airport. Please remain seated until the captain turns the service bell sign.
That's freaking fine. That's freaking fine.
We might as well have landed on Mars. That's what it felt like. Only we were the aliens. We stuck out like sore thumbs. Upon first glance, they immediately determined, yep, Americans. Everything was different. Not one thing felt familiar. We were not in Kansas anymore, Toto. My dad left Thailand at 1 year old to start a new life in America, in the South, never seeing or speaking to his Thai relatives or returning again until now, 50 years later.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Catch the door, Miguel.
I'm kind of nervous.
Me too.
Are you nervous?
A little bit. There she she is. Yay! Yay!
Oh, look at Đi là tiếp à? Hay đấy. Hay là tiếp á bảo.
Yeah. You doing all right? My grandmother. That's my yai.
ไปดังก็ตัวนิดๆนะดูสิโตแล้ว
This is my daughter.
There you go.
Now she can see.
She thinks it's a picture. It's video. It's okay. I can do screen grabs, so I can do a picture. This was worth the trip.
Yai เลี้ยงมานะ She's gonna take care of you when you're a baby. This is 4 generation. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Can you help me?
We spent the first day adjusting to our new surroundings and recovering from a 22-hour flight. I've eaten my fair share of my grandmother's kutil, but this was a whole new experience. We took another short flight from Bangkok to Chiang Mai to explore a few temples and experience the city. That suits you. The city was a strange mix of luxury and dilapidation. Beautiful buildings and views next to long forgotten ruins. It's kind of a dumpy view, but yeah. Okay, you can see the mountains. Think it.
I don't know. Why can't we get grown-ups
Our first full day in Chiang Mai, we spent exploring temples and shopping the markets.
That is cute. That is adorable. Look, Jess. Look how cute.
You could wear that to the temple.
Yes, the whole outfit is cute.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Yeah, that's cute. If you couldn't find pants, you could wear this to the temple.
I want one of those.
200 baht.
Yeah,
Jessica, look at all the food.
that's cute.
I'm looking. I'm making my way.
Food vendors are all over the place in Thailand. This would be the first of many that we would visit during our time here. So many interesting things to snack on while browsing. We couldn't pass up a chance for selfies at this gorgeous view.
Oh, Daddy, I love you. Give me mom.
Cute. We soon learned that it was against the rules to wear leggings to a temple, so we had to purchase a sarong.
I want to have an awesome video when this trip is over.
You will. Now stop being footage police. We're going so slow.
Stop it.
I'm not. I won't. Why are you hiding? My eyes couldn't take in all the beautiful things. And this was the most picturesque restaurant I'd ever seen.
Jeremy, you know what that means? Hangry? You know what that means? Hangry?
That means you're hungry and angry at the same time.
You're not yourself. She's hangry.
It was all so yummy and just what all of our tired, hangry bodies needed at that moment. Day 2, we visited what I thought was an elephant sanctuary. It was moments like this where I became painfully aware of our cultural differences. I smiled because I love elephants, and I'd never seen one up close. But my heart broke seeing the chains and knowing there was nothing I could do about it. The elephants were trained to do tricks and paint pictures. This was both amazing and incredibly sad. Once we arrived back from Chiang Mai, we took a road trip to the beach. There were so few people here when we arrived, it was honestly a bit eerie. We stayed in these beautiful freestanding villas, and I had never seen a more peaceful and scenic place in all of my life. My dad isn't really a beach person, but he made it his mission to find a shark's tooth. You hear him talk about it? This is show and tell.
Oh, this is the coolest shell ever. It's the coolest one I've ever found.
Pretty cool. Pointy. Can you believe he wouldn't let me have it? Look at him, he's so happy. He's so happy he found his shells. I spent that evening filming a styled shoot for my cousin Jessica and her fiance Miguel. Before we left, we got to meet our uncles, Took and Bum, one of which was a truck driver just like my dad.
Cóถ่ายรูปcóถ่ายรูป from my
How long have you been driving?
20 years.
20 years.
Same thing.
I'm on 22.
That is.
I have an experience to the car accident.
Oh,
5.
5 times.
5 accidents?
Have you 5 times? Yeah.
5 times.
Well, that ain't hard to do here.
It feels like we ordered everything on the menu and still didn't pay the price of an average couple at the neighborhood grill. How you spell it? Yeah. Even though there was a language barrier, we had such a great time meeting them. Before we said goodbye, he gave us a couple of coconuts. Is it good? And I can't forget about the bike ride, where we met a couple of wild monkeys. There's monkeys. He's gonna mess you up. It was both amazing and terrifying. You keep staying right there. We hit the road once again to head back to Aunt Belle's house. The next day, she invited more family over. We met our aunts and a few cousins, and they brought lots of tasty treats and some green thing that was honestly probably my favorite thing I ate while being there.
The purple one is good for your eye. The green one is good for your heart.
Rice and coconut, sugar.
Coconut sugar.
Yeah.
อุ้ยขมมากเลย
ไทยไรซ์
กินรวมกัน
sticky rice.
นี่ต้องกินให้หมดเลย
That's pretty good.
อ้วนใจ
Tastes like a macaron.
Kind of.
ใส่น้ำตาลไหมลูกมันจะได้ฉีกลงหน่อยฉีกได้
They're talking about you, Dad. Truth be told, I haven't always been the closest with my grandmother. This trip opened my eyes to so many things that I took personally in the past. Wasn't out of malice, but instead cultural differences. See if I can figure out how to tell her we're gonna miss her.
Just can't see that.
Can you read it?
Can you make it talk?
Let's see.
เป็นยังไงบรรยากาศเมืองไทยกับเมืองนอก
She's probably saying, I don't understand what you're trying to do.
We are gonna miss you. We are gonna miss you. That was difficult. Hola. Wrong language. Swadika. You're being recorded. This is your eye.
Hello.
Say Swadika.
Swadika.
Swadikrup, actually, for you. Sorry.
going on?
Last day. One more sleep, then I'm on the big jet plane. One more sleep. Actually, well, I have to sleep on the airplane. Otherwise, I won't get through it. 2 more sleeps. I sprayed a bunch of bug spray on my legs and I don't think it's helping. These are like super mosquitoes.
It could be actually tracked.
Yeah, could be attractive. Could just be me. I must be delicious.
Is that Clinton?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Clint.
Grammy says hey.
Hey. How are you?
Doing okay?
Yes. How are you doing?
He's good. He misses me. He's ready for me to come home. He don't know what to do without me.
I need my fix.
Well, you see her day after tomorrow.
Yep.
Looking forward to it.
That's good. That's a good sign. Bye. Bye.
See ya.
Okay.
Say it again.
Good grief.
Chụp cái tụng bài hài lối.
Do it again, slowly. You may have to do it about 10 times now.
Điệu.
Deal.
Cú. Cú. Tộp.
Dope.
Tài.
Or the dope. Or dope.
Tộp.
Alright, do it. Start over. Start over.
Điệu.
Is it deal or deal?
Anyway, so close to here. Điệu. Cú. Tộp. Tài. Hào. Lời.
That means I'll slap you to death.
Thanks.
High five. Don't you look pretty?
Bác cho cặp rồi mẹ.
Very nice to meet you. I miss you.
Không.บอกว่าดีใจที่ได้พบแม่
โชคดีนะลูกนะ
กุดลักกุดลัก
โชคดีนะ
I got to see where my dad was born. I got to bond with him and the rest of my family in ways that I never thought I'd get to. Meeting family members I never thought I would. And seeing my daddy with his yai. These are the highlights of my trip. All the beautiful things and the amazing food aside, this is why I took this trip.
Brother mine?
Yeah, it is. Take care of yourself.
Yes. I can't wait another 15 years. It's too long. My heart is full after going on this adventure.
Bye-bye, Thailand.
Bye-bye, Thailand. And my perspective has definitely changed quite a bit. Being a little bit of everything shouldn't feel lonely. If anything, I feel connected with so many more people. My ancestors were travelers and lovers of all ethnicities. In my blood resides a melting pot of cultures and powerful history.
America in 2 years. Now you know where the roof is.
That's right, yeah.
I am so thankful that I was able to take this trip and to witness all of these things. I pray that our world heals and I can make it back one day. But even if that's not possible, I'll always have these memories and this feeling in my heart.
And that's what we call a wrap.